morning, babies. Let's see what we got. We're just gonna do, got a couple queens here right off the bat. Okay, I was gonna say we're just gonna do a short reading, but I never know, so I'm just gonna dive in. I really feel like some of you guys are leveling up in your self-care routine, in your confidence, and maybe just the way you see yourself, and the other people around you, the world around you is starting to recognize some things about you that maybe have been dormant for a while. I'm hearing you're shining, you're radiating, okay? And gender doesn't matter here, but you might have a little bit of a softer quality falling over your life right now, and some fire and passion, as well as maybe your intuitive gifts. I channeled something about this morning when I was still half asleep. Some of you guys are coming into some new spiritual gifts, or they're not new, but you're becoming more aware of them, which is really important right now, I'm hearing, because you're part of us creating the reality, this new world, okay? This represents bringing our dreams into fruition with this pig flying here. It's important for you to tap into your own spiritual gifts so that you can be part of this new earth awakening, that you can pull resources out from within you to share with the collective at a time when we really need it. Okay, weirdly enough, I'm being asked to switch decks already. I think I'm going to switch back to that at the end, but for some reason, first of all, the Knight of Cups is on the bottom. So we have the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups. You're definitely here, the Lovers. You're definitely here to bring some love to this physical plane, okay? Whatever it is that you carry within you is meant to be brought almost like on offer to the rest of the world, because the world is mourning right now. We need something to shift our focus. We need something to lift us up. And I think that a lot of you guys don't understand how valuable and precious your energy really is. And when you are around people who are facing the darkness, I'm hearing you bring them back to the light. All right, I've always done this since I was a little kid. It was something that just naturally happened. I would just focus all my energy on trying to make people feel better, on bringing them a new perspective. Some of you guys are just natural healers, okay? It's time for you to start offering your gifts to the world by being a natural healer in a public way. Okay, whether you're working with people like this one-on-one, or because I do that as well, or if you're just sharing more with the people around you, your loving heart. We need it. We need you to share your dreams with the world as well. We need you to share your vision. We need you to share your gifts. We need you to share your magic. Everything that you came here with is needed at this time. Okay, because you're here to bring us into a state of love, I'm hearing. You're here to bring love. You're here to balance the energies within you, to help us all balance and ascend. And you might not understand this, but you have really special abilities, really, really special. Even just in your ability to filter energy out. And I've been doing this since I was a little kid too. You might have been placed in some difficult situations or areas. Maybe you grew up in some kind of difficult neighborhood. You were there to clear the energy just by existing. You might be very creative. You might be just very plugged into certain things that bring you peace. And when it brings you peace, it brings everyone peace. You bring the world peace, is what I'm hearing. You bring the world peace. A lot of us need you. We need your light. Okay, look at this. A lot of us are in darkness. We're in anxiety. I felt fear, and I felt like crying all of a sudden. This is not my energy. This is the energy of the collective. You're here to bring your beautiful heart and all of your strength and all the tools that you have accumulated over your life to elevate our energy level, to bring us magic, to bring us back in touch with our own magic and the fact that we can create magic everywhere we go, just with our intention. We're ending an era, dude. We're ending a cycle. It's a tough one. And it's time to transmute the energy into love. Okay, it's time to take all this darkness and turn it into love. Yeah, there's another one underneath that. The collective, it's like we're blocking our blessings. Some of us are so focused on the end of the cycle that we're forgetting that we're also at the beginning of a new cycle. And that all this bullshit in the past isn't coming with us. We get to turn this right around, yep, and call in some fucking abundance, okay? Call in some love, call in some stability, call in some peace. That's what this new era is. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit's saying you are the one that's going to face people away from this darkness to their new beginning and show them that they are the ones calling the shots in their own life, that they are the magician, just like you. That they get to create the reality that they want to see, not only for their own life, but for the world. This is powerful, okay? This is definitely telling a story. There's a lot of darkness, but we are here to turn it into light. That's my job. And I believe that anyone who's watching this, that's resonating, this is your job as well. The Queen of Cups again. Now you have the Queen of Cups twice, okay? You guys are, you're healers, you're nurturers. Look at that woman. She's just like petting this cup almost. This is you with the collective. Whether you see the collective as the whole world or just the people in your community, whatever that means to you, you're here to care for them, and you do. Whether you intend to or not, a lot of you guys are just naturally gifted healers. You're just very loving, okay? I'm hearing your cup is overflowing with love. You might feel very emotional about things. You might be a deep, deep empath like me. The kind of empath who can feel other people's emotions, whether they're in the same room with you or not. That's a spiritual gift, okay? It's called clairsentience. And it's an important gift, especially right now. It's important not to get stuck feeling other people's emotions, which can be easy when you're psychic as fuck. And there have definitely been times in my life as a very fucking psychically gifted person where I've had all these emotions come in and I thought they were mine, and then I asked my guides, are these my emotions? And they weren't. The answer was immediately no. It was someone else I was connected to, someone who was feeling my energy, feeling a lot of love for me. I was like, oh, I'm feeling love for them. Actually, I wasn't. I was just feeling their love for me, and I mistook it. And I'm saying that for someone's benefit, because some of you guys are so psychic that you don't know sometimes whose energy you're feeling, and you might assume it's yours, okay? But you did get the Page of Cups again. Y'all are here to fill our lives with love. You're here to fill our cups with dreams. You're here to let your, a lot of you guys could be writers or romantics. You could love, and maybe be a writer about love, or maybe you sing songs about love. You know what I mean? You bring that dreamy quality to your everyday life, and it does permeate the fields. People notice, I'm hearing. I just dropped a card. 7 of Pentacles, Justice, 9 of Cups, wow, 7 of Wands. With the King of Cups and the Temperance and the 4 of Pentacles and the World. And we just fell on the floor. Strength, yeah. I'm also getting that you guys are just wildly strong, okay? A lot of you guys have had a really crazy life, like me. Some of you guys have been through challenges. So I'm hearing cancer survivor. That's not my story. So maybe there's a cancer survivor among you watching, or later when I post this. You have had to have a lot of strength to come through all the challenges that you've gone through. I feel a lot of emotion. Okay, so just know that A, you're being appreciated for how much strength you've had to have, and it's part of what makes you special, and it's part of what's going to get people to listen to you or to follow you. If you end up stepping into a role like me, they're not going to follow you because you're, a guru. They're going to follow you because you give them strength by being an embodiment of strength. And you're not the kind of person that wants people to follow you, by the way. You're the kind of person that just wants to uplift everyone. But that's why they're going to follow you, because you uplift them. You make them feel like they can do it. I'm hearing you make them feel like they can do anything, and I seriously feel like I might cry. And I know this message is for me too. I've been doing this since I was a little kid. Building people up. You just make people believe that they can do anything, that if they put their mind and energy towards something, that they can make it work, that they can create their life into being. Their dream life, I mean. And Spirit's like, hey, look, we see how much you poured into everyone. We see how much you've been giving. We want to balance the scales out for you and bring in your own dreams. This is a wish fulfillment card. This represents having everything you've ever wanted. And this represents fighting for your vision. The Strength card represents the same energy as this. You have had to fight really hard to get here. And some of this might be literal, like maybe you grew up in a toxic environment and you had to defend yourself physically, against people that were trying to harm you. The point is that a lot of you guys have had to fight for your vision because you're warriors. I'm hearing you're spiritual warriors, which means that you don't just do spiritual warrior stuff in the spiritual. You also do it in the physical, because we're physical beings having a spiritual experience. But you're here to unlock your massive potential, I'm hearing. You're here to help unlock the massive potential of the collective through being an embodiment of justice. Okay, so justice isn't just coming in for you. You are walking justice. I've channeled this message before too. You are walking justice. You carry the sword of truth. The people that are resonating with this message in particular, you have such incredible integrity. You are so balanced in your in what is fair and just and right. And even if something could benefit you but take away from others, and it didn't feel aligned, you wouldn't do it, because that's how just you are. You just care about people. You care about them a lot. And that's what's gonna unlock your dreams, your wishes. I'm hearing this is the era of justice. So this is the era of karma. Karma is being delivered. Okay, yeah, balancing the scales. Spirit's saying, look, things have been held back, things have been stuck. Okay, King of Cups comes later, I'm hearing. Things have been stuck. We're balancing things out for you because we can see that you have really put in the work here. I'm also getting some anxiety. So somebody in the collective is feeling stuck, okay? So you might be feeling stuck, and if you have to ask who you're talking to, it's probably not you, but I'm talking to whoever's resonating with me, okay? This is for whoever's resonating with me. If you don't resonate with me, then this message isn't for you, with love. But if you're resonating with everything I'm saying, it's because Spirit guided you here. I sent a prayer out, and I asked it for it to be delivered to whoever is resonating with it. And right now, there's a shift in the collective energy. And there are people that have been feeling lost at the back of the line, that are being pushed to the front so they can lead. And they don't know they can do this until they get to the front, and they have to. All right, and maybe you're one of those people, and that's why you're confused about who this is for. Maybe you don't see yourself as a leader, but you are one. All right, I've been pushed to the front a few years ago, but I'm being pushed even farther to the front to do things that I didn't ever think I would do. Okay, Spirit had me move to LA. I understand now that it's because I'm supposed to be part of this whole scene. Whatever it is that God wants to unlock for me, I'm already getting into voiceover acting. I just booked my first gig and got paid for it. My point is, y'all are supposed to be in the spotlight, okay? You're supposed to balance things out in a public way for the collective through following your own dreams and passions, okay? Through being a vessel of love and also an unmovable vessel. So when the waves pick up and you're sitting on your throne, see how this throne is on water, and the waves are trying to knock you over, you are so centered. And if you're not this yet, spirits, this is why you're going through so much, to get you to stay centered no matter what's happening. Okay, no matter how much money you have in your bank, no matter what's going on externally, to get you to the place where you feel centered and aligned no matter what is going on. And so say, for example, I'm doing this live and there's someone over here telling me I'm full of shit, you know what I mean? That I would still be able to do this and focus and deliver, even with a heckler, even with some kind of white noise, even with some kind of negative energy. Because it's important that we remain clear vessels for the divine right now, because we are part of what I'm seeing this as you walking through the portal first and leading others through it. So that's what I do every day. Okay, when I get on here and talk about my journey, it's because I want you to know that I've been through all the things that God is basically asking you to do through my mouth. And I lead by example, okay, like a real true leader should. I don't lead by talking about all the things I'm going to do. I actually fucking do them, and I show people as I do them, just by being an embodiment of it. We don't even have to go out of our way to say, I do this and I do this every day. We just do it. People pay attention. Trust me, they're watching. Whether you realize it or not, people are witnessing you, they're observing you, and you are the leader of this new earth awakening, okay? And again, if this isn't resonating for you, maybe you haven't stepped into your power yet, maybe you aren't aware that you're going through a spiritual awakening, and maybe you think you're going crazy and you don't understand that you're actually finally coming back to who you are. I'm hearing coming back to your senses. Yeah, some of you guys might have started meditating recently, and it's going to unlock a lot of your gifts. When I started meditating every day, that's when it all started to pop off. That was like 2.5 years ago. That's when TikTok started to open itself. Before I was even really watching it, it would open at like 3:33 in the morning, exactly. And then there'd be somebody talking to me, much like I'm talking to you, and I'd be in tears because they'd be speaking to my soul. And they were talking about chosen ones, and I was like, oh my God, it happened so many times. Eventually I couldn't ignore it. Whatever I did by starting to meditate unlocked everything for me. I mean, obviously I did a lot of other work too. My point is, it's time to start facing the things that you want to come to fruition. It's time to start focusing all of your energy on what you want to create, okay? Because you guys are here to create heaven on earth. You need to start listening to your intuition. It's guiding you. Dude, are you serious? The 10 of Cups with the Queen of Pentacles again, the 2 of Cups. Some of these are in reverse, but honestly, it's just because some of you guys just don't know the freaking Hierophant was underneath that. Some of you guys look in the mirror and you see an old version of yourself. You're like, I'm not impactful. What am I going to do that's going to make a difference? A whole fucking lot, because you're way more tapped in than you think. Didn't we get the High Priestess? Yeah. Some of you guys are getting downloads every single day, but you don't realize it because you're in denial. Or you're like, oh, that's just a voice in my head. No, that's called clairaudience. When you hear a voice in your head, that's saying something simple that doesn't have an agenda, okay? It's not the ego. And it doesn't speak out of fear, it speaks out of love, and it whispers. That's your clairsentient ability. Hearing voices doesn't necessarily mean that you're crazy, okay? And most often, it means that you're connected to the divine, okay? And it is important that you learn the difference between your ego voice and the other voices. But the voices I hear are very quiet, and they whisper. I've been hearing them since I was a little kid. I used to just think it was my own voice. It's not, okay? It's not. You guys are special. You need to defend your vision because you're here to lead us all into love, like I said. As soon as you start believing in your vision, in who you are and your abilities, you're unlocking everything for the collective. But you have to unlock it first within you. That's how it happened for me too. I had to start believing in it so fiercely, see this person meditating, that nobody could talk me out of it. And I stopped sharing stuff, straight up, with anybody in my life. And I really walked away from all of them, pretty much. Anybody who didn't believe in me or understand me or see, just anyone who didn't believe that I was capable of achieving dreams, or they thought I was crazy, I'm like, I don't need that bullshit in my life. I walked away. Not with hate in my heart, with love in my heart for myself and my own path, for love for the divine. I said, you know what? I choose me. I choose this path. I choose my purpose. And I never looked back. And that's why I'm in alignment with the divine, and that's why I'm calling in abundance and stability, and that's exactly why you are as well. And if you haven't gotten here yet, this is guiding you forward, okay? You're meant to unlock abundance. A lot of you guys, I've said it a million times, you're here to unlock heaven on earth. Okay, whether you're religious or not, this is a safe space for everyone. God exists whether we call God God or not. Okay, God exists and loves us whether we choose to acknowledge God or not. And I don't believe God or not. And I don't believe in a vengeful, hateful God at all. And in my experience, God is extremely loving and beautiful and caring. And obviously, we are all God's children, no matter whether we recognize that or not. And so I'm saying this so that you understand that when I use the word God, I'm not talking about some dude up in the sky. I'm not talking about some vengeful, hateful God that doesn't love you because you're gay or, you know, I definitely don't believe that. God loves you. No matter what your sexual orientation is, no matter what your gender identity is, God fucking loves you. And you are here to bring love to this world. And this is rainbow, okay? So you could have a same-sex marriage, union, and you might feel, some of you guys might have been involved in a church, I'm hearing, and maybe you got kicked out because of your beliefs. And I just want you to know that the reality we're creating has room for all of us. I feel like crying. Whew. I personally know people that have been ejected from churches for getting divorced or being different, and I think it's bullshit. And that's not what God wanted, okay? That's human judgment. You're here to show everyone what real love looks like. You're here to show everyone what God is actually about. God is about love. God is about love and love alone. God is not about judgment and hate. That's a human condition. This is you sitting in your peace, sitting in your power. This is you sitting in your abundance. This is you after the calm after the storm. I'm hearing some of you guys might have been struggling through poverty. I totally understand. I walked away from a really lucrative business into poverty because God asked me to. I've straight up been homeless because God fucking asked me to. It has not been an easy journey, y'all. I moved to LA with $200 and I basically hitchhiked here. I didn't know where I was going to sleep the first night I arrived, and I had less than $200 at that point, I think. This is an expensive city. God is taking care of me. All right? I'm not even going to tell you the whole story, but the point is I prayed. I followed orders. And you know what? I'm taken care of. Don't ask me how. It doesn't matter. You're in the hands of the divine. You just have to jump off the cliff. Okay? Look at what you have on the other side of this cliff. Freaking 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. Ultimate happiness. Ultimate abundance. Millionaire, billionaire wealth. And if you're rolling your eyes at that, it's just because you don't think you're capable of creating something magical. But if you've seen anyone else do it, you can do it. And you can do a lot more. You can do things that nobody's ever done before because you're a visionary and a pioneer. If you're resonating with this, you're a freaking pioneer, and that's why it's important that you jump off the cliff, because you're here to pave a new way. You're here to show everyone else the way. Okay? It's like the first actor or actress that came out as gay. The first person who came out as transgender. That wasn't easy. They were a pioneer. All right, and as a person who doesn't necessarily identify as either of those, I know I'm speaking to someone in the collective right now. That's part of my team, okay? I'm hearing like, we came here to recognize each other as a team. We're all piece of the puzzle. to this ascension, okay? So I could help you up right now, and then later you could be above and helping me up, and we're all gonna get there together with love in our heart. And you know what? When we create it for ourselves, we're gonna give other people permission to create it themselves, because they're gonna see how the recipe involved jumping off the cliff, leaving behind all the bullshit that didn't serve us, and stepping into the unknown, okay? Because the Fool represents the unknown. It represents the journey that I just went on when I left my home, took my cat and got in a stranger's car from Craigslist and drove all the way to freaking LA. My cat whining and crying the whole time. I slept in the shittiest motel the first night and I cried. I was like, what am I doing? This is so scary. God guided me. I prayed, and I prayed some more. And you know what? I am so blessed that I made that decision, because now I can feel how in alignment it is. I just had to get through the fear and the darkness and the doubt. I had to jump and trust that I'd be caught. And you know what? I am. And so are you. Just continue to believe, continue to release what isn't serving you, continue to walk away from people that aren't letting you be you, okay? If that story was for you and you really have been kicked out of a church or a community because you're not like what they think you should be like, there's going to be another community that's so ready and willing to open their heart to you, and you might be the one to start that community. Maybe the reason why you got evicted from whatever community you were in is because you're meant to start a community that has nothing but love. There is no judgment, there is no hate, there's only love. Okay? And I'm personally creating that right now by doing this work. As a person who's been abused and abandoned and bullied and all kinds of things that have made it very difficult to feel safe in my own skin, now I'm creating safety by sharing my story and inviting other people in to share theirs, and we're creating community through being ourselves, okay? Through being authentic. It's not easy. And a lot of people are gonna doubt you along the way, trust me. I'm just coming into my come up era where I get to glow and look like a goddess and feel like a goddess. But go back 3 or 4 years and you're gonna see a very different version of me that was struggling to get to the light. And people made fun of me, and it wasn't fun, okay? Keep fighting for your dream, keep fighting for your vision, because you're an important part of this awakening. Your light matters, all right? If you don't currently follow me, please do. If you need a private reading or you want to work with me or tithe or donate to this work, go to my website only. Please don't get scammed. sacredmuseproject.com. I fucking love you, all right? I hope this reached whoever needed it. Because it was from the heart. And I channeled 99% of that. I left my body for most of that. Aw, thanks babies. I hope you have a beautiful day, all right? And I'll see you next time.